Have at it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Harvey of The Justin Harvey Show with a special edition of the show. This is a live video edition. I want to bring this special broadcast because I actually have a good friend of mine who we never thought would meet, Michael Moss.
And here we are.
Here we are, my friend.
Here we are, man.
Good to have you on the show.
Good. Welcome to Indy.
Thank you. Give my audience like the past sort of, because we met on a website years ago that no longer exists.
No longer exists, but it's been in many forms. We met on the old Snapvine network, and for those who don't know what Snapvine was, basically Snapvine was a social media site where people would link up to people. They would use their phone and microphones to call in and basically just converse back and forth to each other. And when I first met Justin on there, I mean, it was probably, I would say Snapvine was probably in its prime.
Yeah.
It was definitely in its prime, and we started talking, and over the years, things evolved, different ways of communicating, come forth, but it's one of those things we didn't know we'd ever meet.
And you had your podcast.
And I did have my podcast called The Post-it Cast back in the day, which this man was a very good guest, one of the best I ever had, to be honest with you. And we just sat there and talk and have a good old time. And now here we are in person. This man's getting inducted into the Martial Arts Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Moss, a lot of my recordings, you would laugh your ass off and have to stop a minute because you're like, did he really just do that?
Did he really just say that? And we talked about anything, man. We talked about anything. I mean, we didn't talk just about martial arts. We talked about news and
storm chasing.
We did talk about that too a little bit.
Even though I'm unfamiliar with that, you taught me a little bit.
That's good. I'm glad that I was able to help you.
And we actually have a mutual friend, Ryan.
Ryan Jobson, yes.
So, and she just loves me to death, Moss.
How could she not love you?
How
could she not love you?
And she lives quite close to me, speaking, because she lives right somewhere in Virginia.
Yeah, so she lives in Virginia, doesn't she? She's just a little bit east of West Virginia.
So
where you live at.
I'm trying to talk her into coming to see me.
Do it, Ryan. Do it. Let's do it.
And Maggie, she needs to smile more. She's a very beautiful girl. She's been down lately. I've been reading her posts because tell the people about your vent depression group on Facebook.
Right. I have a group on Facebook called, because everything that revolves around me is around the phrase "good night." Because if anybody watched any of my videos, that's what I yell. Good night. That's what I yell, particularly when there's a lightning strike close to me. Well, I kind of expanded it, and one of the things I did was create a group called Good Night Vent. Mm-hmm. And as the name implies, it's a place to go vent.
Yeah.
Take your frustrations out. Something you want to talk about and don't want a lot of people, don't want a lot of people knowing about anything. And we try to help. And my friend Maggie is one that's in there. Justin's in there as well. And Maggie's a good friend.
Yeah.
Maggie's a really good friend. She lives in Nebraska, and but never met her. Maybe hopefully to one day. But we've had some pretty good discussions in there as well.
Oh yeah, and and I have been tweeting this man all day long. He's like, "Where you at? Where you at?" And I'm like, "I'm a couple hours away."
3 minutes away, and I'm like, okay, I got 15 packages left, 5 packages left. All right, getting gas on my way. It's really good. It's really good how you can use Twitter.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how powerful the social media aspect of connecting people is now. Because Twitter's powerful. I mean, you got celebrities like yourself that are on there. I mean, I even had Montel Williams favor one of my tweets one time. I mean,
wow.
Who would ever think you would talk to Montel, you even have any interaction with Montel Williams, but yet I have.
Wow. Well, you know that band, Danny and Lizzie, the two twins that sings the song Dancing in the Sky?
Yes.
It's really popular right now. I mean, it's got thousands and thousands of views. Well, they're actually currently following me on Twitter.
Very good.
And I've been speaking to their manager for the past, I'd say, 2 years. Just not booked them yet, but
Right.
They have given me a guarantee, a shout out, or a show.
Right.
Either one. It's just it's getting it booked.
That's excellent. That's excellent news. I mean, you are connecting with people you never thought you would.
Yeah.
Ever. But yet it's definitely become a reality.
Yeah.
With social media.
Don the Dragon Wilson.
The Dragon Wilson, who's going to be here.
I've connected with Cynthia Rothrock.
Cynthia is awesome.
Ernie Reyes Jr. and Sr.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you're familiar with their work.
I've not actually communicated with him, but I do know Ric Flair is also on Twitter.
Really?
Yes, he is. Mm-hmm. I think the Hulkster might be too, but I'm not sure.
I felt bad when Rick's son died, Reed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's really sad. And, and he's a guy. He's been entertaining people for what, 45, 50 years now?
Yeah.
Because he's like 70 now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Something. I mean, how do you do that? How are you able to? Okay, this guy's like being funny over here, but
that's Joe for you.
That's
folks.
Joe. Joe.
The Joe Daily Show.
What's that?
I said I think he's closer to 90.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm 40 and he was old when I was a little kid.
yeah.
No offense, Rick.
Yeah. No offense, Flair. No offense whatsoever. But bottom line is, I mean, he's been doing this thing for basically 5 decades.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like William Shatner. William Shatner's been in the entertainment industry for over 5 decades.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Of course, we know recently the one who played Spock.
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy died recently.
And that's a damn shame.
It is a damn shame. He also was a social media guy. A lot of these people think, well, it's just social media. It's just all young people say, oh, dear contraire, my friend. Dear contraire. And if you guys just heard that was a plane that just went right over our head.
Hope it wasn't a bomb.
No, it wasn't a bomb. That was a plane because we're near the Indianapolis International Airport, which is just off to our west here. But
it's a really nice place.
yeah, this is a very, very nice hotel. I mean, like I was telling you, it's like borderline royalty. Borderline royalty up here.
And what's funny, Moss, when my mother was checking out the hotel, she said they have a really nice bar. She said, I know where you'll be.
You been there yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not made it there yet.
Not made, but you will. You will.
Scoping out the place.
Scoping out the place, checking stuff out, and maybe you'll get a chance to go to downtown while you're here. I mean, I know you're only here for what, just the weekend?
Yeah, I'll be going back the 20th, I believe.
Okay, 20th. What's today's date? I can't. It's like today's the
Today,
17th.
today's the 17th.
17th. So that's Monday.
My induction, my official induction will be tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. All right.
So
That's good.
it'll
That's
be
good.
official, and once it's done, it can't be undone.
Absolutely.
And it's like I've always said, like with this, whether you love me or you hate me, I totally deserve this one.
Yes, you do.
So
Yes, you do. You have worked enormously hard for this, and I've seen you grow throughout the years.
Yeah.
The few years that I've known you. I mean, I've seen you grow. I've seen your confidence grow. I've seen your delivery grow. You're just really good.
yeah. And what gets me with all these other podcasters, I'm not counting you in this equation, but like,
It's okay.
but with all these other podcasters, they get these stars and all this, but they got the money to back them,
Mhm.
and I don't. I got the shirt on my back, people. That's all I've got.
Well, that's what makes this country. But I mean,
Yeah.
even with that, who's to say you won't
Yeah.
grab a Ric Flair or something like that eventually? I mean, why not?
Well, I got to thinking the other day, Moss.
Mhm.
I really did. Because I'm going to be considered a public figure
Mm-hmm.
after this induction. I thought about getting into like public speaking
Mm-hmm.
and help out troubled kids.
That's good. That's good. I think you could provide some motivation for some people. I really do.
I think that God has told me that that's my path.
And I think that once you follow that path, good things happen.
Yeah.
Because when you follow the wrong path, the path that you think at the time may be right, if it's not the path you're supposed to be on, you see people kind of push away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like one moment they're all about you, then a year or whatever later,
Well-
they're just like want nothing to do. Want nothing to do with you. I mean, that's the human race for you.
Well, out of all the people I've known online, Moss,
Mhm.
you have always been there. We may have had we've never had a disagreement to my knowledge, but even if we did,
We've had some small ones, I think,
Yeah.
but I can't even remember them. I mean, that shows you how minor they are.
But you know how people say, "Oh, I'm your friend online," but they really don't make that connection. But me and you have. We've been friends since day one.
Day one, and I actually, the way we met on Snapvine was an accident. Because you were, I think you were posting. Yeah, I remember you made an audio post about whiny people. I mean, we were talking about when we came in here about you can't stand people that are dumb and stupid and just whine all the time. You were making a post about whiny people.
Yeah. Well, obviously because see, I was like with my situation, Moss.
Yeah.
I was looking at it from my point of view because
Yes.
I have to deal with a hell of a lot of things on a day-to-day basis.
On a
I have to
daily
have
basis.
help
Mhm.
with damn near everything.
Mhm.
And here other people are bitching and moaning that are able-bodied, and they're just bitching over petty stuff. And I'm like,
Some of them are filthy rich.
yeah.
The filthy rich entertainers that have got everything.
And I'm like, grow the hell up.
Grow up, you got to, because if you don't, you will be left behind. People will forget about you.
That's why I come up with this idea, like for a reality show, take people like yourself
Mhm.
and make them disabled for a whole week and make them rely on people.
I will tell you, I was disabled for 3.5 months.
Wow.
I was disabled for 3.5 months. Now, our circumstances are different, but in 1996, on April, April 26th, 1996, I was in a vehicle accident with a car, basically, without getting all the details, car flipped upside down. And this part of my leg, the femur, which is the big bone in your leg, snapped right in two.
Are you kidding me?
Nope, not at all. And I had to have a metal rod put in from here to here. But before I could get this leg back down, this had to heal.
Mm-hmm.
We had to grow bone around the rod. The rod's still there, by the way. It had to grow bone, and then it had to basically envelop the crack that I had in my bone. Until it did that, I couldn't even put this foot down.
Jeez.
So I was in a hospital bed at my house. I needed help to go to the bathroom. I needed help just to go across the room. And then when I was finally, after 3.5 months, I was on a walker, I was on crutches. When I was finally able to put that leg down, I mean, you just don't realize. And I had therapy too. I had physical therapy.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize just how much just doing this, just that simple walk across the room is.
Yeah.
Because when I put my leg down, I almost lost my balance. Even after all that therapy, I mean, my leg was sound, but I had to learn how to walk again.
Well,
At age
Yeah.
21. I was 21 years old.
I hate that you went through that experience, but on the other hand, I'm kind of glad you went through it just because
I needed it.
where you know me personally,
Hmm.
you know what it's kind of like, what I'm going through on a day-to-day
And I
basis.
can't imagine. I can't imagine what it's like for somebody who can't walk. I cannot imagine. Because that time in my life, I mean, I won't lie, it was hell. It was hell. I couldn't even feel that.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I had 36 stitches from glass in my arm from the same accident. I couldn't even feel that.
Oh, wow.
36 stitches there because this hurt so bad because they had to stretch, they had to bend, they had to do everything in the water, and it still hurt. I had all that damage, and it's like somebody put a knife in me. It
Wow.
hurt. It hurt. So for people who want to put people down that are in wheelchairs like this or that condition, you need to get a fucking life. I mean,
Exactly.
I can't put any more blank. You need to get a fucking life, basically.
Exactly, and one of the last things I want to touch on, Moss, because
Sure.
I want to get your reaction live. Do you remember when Facebook closed my account for being a fake person? Give us your
Yeah.
thoughts on that, because I know, like, when I made one phone call and let
Mhm.
one of my friends know,
Mhm.
there was a lot of people that were pissed off that
That's
wanted to
right.
complain. Even celebrities wanted to fucking complain.
Mhm.
Give us your reaction.
And I'm with them. I didn't understand it. Why did they even think you were a fake person?
I don't know, but let me tell you.
Why?
Let me tell you the ridiculous process that I had to go through.
Mhm.
I had to re-email them, and then I had to send them my personal ID
Right.
to prove it was me, and then
Prove
they
it's
gave
you.
me like a shitty apology, like, "Oh, it was our mistake."
Unbelievable.
So,
I think sometimes when a company gets that big, the personal aspect of it is taken away. If you want proof of that, you want to see how the personal aspect has gone away. If you're a brand new user of Facebook, I mean, there's a lot of people that join it every day for the first time,
Yeah.
even to this day, and you start interacting with people, watch the ads. You will literally see ads tailored to what you were talking about with other people.
yeah,
They're controlling your experience.
yeah,
They're controlling which comes through your news feeds at times, based on their algorithm.
yeah. and it's like you post one thing, and then a suggestion thing will pop up like a paid ad. So it's
Paid ad, or even people that, let's say they have it in their name, something you talked about, maybe it's part of their name or part of their job description or something.
And Facebook, let's face it, Facebook wants to control everything you do now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm kind of leaning towards Twitter now, because that's kind of scary to me.
It is scary, but it is the risk that you run being online.
Yeah.
Even
Which
on
I
Twitter,
compl-
even on Twitter, because there are people behind the scenes that are monitoring. There are people behind the scenes that are watching everything that you do. Because I mean, we got Department of Homeland Security watching this stuff. I mean, it's the world we live in.
Yeah.
Because there's people who are killing themselves because they're being bullied on Facebook. People are killing themselves because they're being bullied on Facebook. I've heard 13, 14, 15-year-old kids. They're getting bullied on Facebook. I used to get bullied.
I did too, believe it or not.
And I even got my butt beat a couple of times, but you didn't see me going for the knife.
Yeah, exactly.
I just forgot about it and just moved on, but there's people bullying them, so they're killing themselves. Or some on Facebook. They don't even know the people.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, what's wrong with people today? I mean, because cyberbullying is just as bad as physical abuse and mental abuse
Mm-hmm.
that you would actually get from a real person in
Right.
reaction with a real person.
Well, that's the problem. The problem is that's where we are. People used to see each other all the time. People used to call each other on the phone all the time. People used to, there used to be days when you'd call somebody in another state and talk to them for about 3 or 4 hours because that's the only way you talk to them unless you drove down to see them or you wrote them letters. Well, those days are going away.
Yeah.
Now it's all so quick and everything
Mm-hmm.
that, there's not as much of a mystery. And then people are like, yeah, I really don't need to go visit this person or go visit that person. I just put it all right here. It takes a little bit of the direct personal aspect, even with family members, away.
Exactly. And I wanted to close with this, Moss, because this is just for personal preference here. But
Sure.
like when you knew that I was coming and wanted to meet you, how did your family react? Because I was kind of curious about that today.
Yeah. Basically, they were cool with it.
Because I know they don't know me.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know you like I
personally,
do. They really don't. I mean, I've talked to you about my family before.
Yeah.
They know of you, but they're like, well, you're gonna meeting another friend that never thought you'd meet. And I was like, they're like, cool.
Yeah. So and one of these days I'd like to meet them too. And I understand one of your daughters is disabled too.
She is. I have a daughter who has a cleft hand. She was born with only 2 fingers. She's already had 1 surgery at a very young age. She was like 2 when she had her first surgery, and she'll have to have another one. This so she can do this. But I'll tell you this: like you, she's adapted.
Wow.
She has adapted. The other day, she was jumping rope in school, and with her hand, she can't grasp onto the other one. However, between her and the teacher, they came up with an idea to wrap it around her hand, and she jumped rope for the first time. Almost 9 years old, she jumped rope for the first time.
Way
This
to
girl
go.
will get on the computer and she'll actually use that hand type, and she'll sit there and she'll type all night. Doesn't bother her.
Wow.
She knows she's different, but she's adapted so well
Yeah.
that there were even people, adults at her school, for the longest time, didn't know she had a cleft hand. They didn't
Wow.
even know she had a cleft hand.
Wow.
Matter of fact, the principal of her school was talking about that the other day, that he was talking to about one of the teachers. Until just recently, like within the last month, I think it was, did not even realize she had a cleft hand because she's so well adapted.
Wow.
So she can do it, you've done it, anybody can do it.
Hmm. And like I said, and I'll close with this, Moss, and I'll give you some closing statements, and
Sure.
we'll, shoot the stuff privately for a little bit.
Okay.
I'd like to say this, like, you would not know that I was disabled online, because I could easily hide it, but I don't.
That's true. That's true.
But if you were to physically see me, like now, you would know I'm disabled. So
Right.
I don't hide a thing. So, I mean, that's my point on being disabled. And I know we
Right.
talked about disabled dating at one point. That was one of my topics that I threw out to you too. So.
Absolutely, and I mean, you don't have to, just because you are disabled, I mean, doesn't mean you have to date somebody who's disabled, or you can. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I think the point you're trying to make is, it doesn't have to hold you back. It's unfortunate, obviously. I mean, you would love to be able to walk around and do things normally, but at the same time, you do have a blessing.
Yeah.
Because it has made you who you are.
Yeah, it's like I asked my brother one time, and I miss him dearly, but I told him one time, I said, I wonder what kind of person I'd be if I could
That was going to be my
walk.
next question. Who do you think you would be if you weren't disabled?
Well, I'll give you his response, and keep in mind he was joking, but he said,
Okay.
you'd be a pure asshole.
And you're different now, how? I'm just kidding.
I'm an asshole with power.
Asshole with power, there you go.
Oh.
There you go.
But I kind of pictured myself as like the next Superfoot Bill Wallace or Don the Dragon Wilson.
So you still think you would have been involved in martial arts if you didn't have a disability?
Yeah, and somehow, and then again, somehow I'm always drawn to it. It's like, no matter what I do, it's like I'm drawn to it. It's like I left the radio business for quite some time, and yet, again, I was drawn back into it. So our true purposes in life, whether we want to, not quit, but give it a break, it always calls you back, whether you want to or not.
I have, for the last few years, I don't chase storms as much as I used to. Man,
Which is good, because
Well,
I worry about you.
I understand. You're not the only one. But now that things have gotten a little better financially, job's a little bit different now. I've been able to do it more than I used to. But for a while there, just like you said, I did pull away from it a bit. Kind of held off to the side a little bit. But then it called me right back. The same thing on my love of amusement parks. I haven't been to one in almost 2 years. I'm getting to go to a few this year.
You ever been to Carowinds?
Yes.
I love Carowinds.
I've been there one time. 2002 was the time I went there.
Wow.
Spent 2 days at the place. Loved it. Loved that place.
Well, you should have took me with you, because being disabled, I was able to go in front of the line because I was disabled.
Darn. Damn. I will say now that was before they added some of their most recent rides, but I tell you, lines are actually weren't too bad. We even went on a Saturday, so it wasn't too bad.
They had a ride that was old. It was called the Great Bear. I rode that ride. It was freaking amazing. See, I'm not afraid to try anything, and like my brother almost had me talked into bungee jumping.
Nice.
And my mom was actually thankful that I'm not even thinking about it now, but I was so going to do it. I was like, just make sure and throw me off, but make sure I'm, connected to the cord first.
Well, let me tell you, from your location right now, you're close to a lot of parks right now, closer than you think. Did you come up through Louisville or Cincinnati?
Was it
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati?
Yeah, if you'd have went up on the loop about 45 minutes, Kings Island's sitting right there. That's where Kings Island's at. You go 2.5 hours this way, Kentucky Kingdom's sitting down there. And then if you go another 2 hours to the west of that on 64, you come to Holiday World.
Yeah.
And then Indiana Beach is this way.
Mm-hmm.
Six Flags Great America's that way. Six Flags St. Louis is that way.
Wow.
You've got, and then 5.5 hours this way is Cedar Point, Northern Ohio. So you're in the Mecca.
Wow.
You're within the Mecca. It's not Disney World, but you're within the Mecca.
So don't expect Mickey Mouse or Goofy, folks. 'Cause you won't find it here.
I don't know, Mickey Mouse, Goofy, or my Mickey Mouse and you Goofy.
I kind of see us as Beavis and Butthead. What do you think? Fire! Fire!
Shut up, Beavis. Shut up, Beavis.
You bumhole.
It's falling. You can't get it up.
Man, this is great. We're live on video.
Awesome. It's totally awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the last thing I want to talk about, Moss, I just thought of this because
yeah.
why did YouTube fucking ban you? What the deal? What's the deal with that?
Basically, I swear, if I hear one more plane go over my head, thinking I'm in New York City or something.
Plain effect.
In plain sight. Okay, here we
Because
go.
this like pissed me off. It's like, why? What they?
Well, a couple things about that. The reason that I was given was keywords. My keywords were deceptive in the eyes of the YouTube community. The people that were the view, review, and all this. I still think it was somebody had a cross to bear, shall we say?
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, Moss. Was it like this? You weren't kissing enough ass? Remember I did that once in your podcast?
Yeah,
You
you-
died. Yeah. you freaking died, man.
Yeah. No, I guess I didn't kiss enough because I'm not spitting out hair,
What-
so I didn't kiss enough ass.
Well, are you gonna do any more podcasting? I mean, because I know I've been trying my hardest to talk you back
Right.
into it.
I'll meet you halfway. I am on YouTube again.
Doing what?
My video, my storm chasing.
Really?
I am back on YouTube. I don't have a channel name yet because I got to build my subscribers back up because you can only do that after 500 subscribers. So, but I am back under just Mike Moss. You can search for Mike Moss, and yeah, that's where I do the majority of my work. That's basically what I have time for
Yeah.
and everything. So I still listen to podcasts. I still subscribe to yours, obviously.
Well, you
Need another episode of your show.
Yeah, you. I'm glad you said that because if you would have said anything else, I could physically kick your ass right now.
I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it.
Because I don't have to reach through a computer now.
No, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm with an arm's reach.
And I'm a wrestling champion, so.
That's. I'm not fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you. I'm fucking with a pro. I know I have my boundaries and I have my limits. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm for one glad that you subscribe to my podcast because
Absolutely.
it means the world to me. And like I said, I've been having trouble with the app, and what it is, they actually need to update it, but they keep telling me that Apple keeps denying their updates. So I don't know if it's the app screwing something up or what's going on. So.
You gotta go to Droid. Give them the
No,
Google
no.
Play. I'm just thumbs up in the back there. This comes from an iPhone 6 user, but
iPhone 6 or 6 Plus?
that's just the 6.
I want the 6 Plus is what I'm shooting for. I'm still on the
Yeah, what one do you got here?
the S, the
4S or 5S?
3GS.
Oh, that's the 3GS you have?
The old stuff.
That's old school. That's old school.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
working for you? Okay.
Well, kinda.
Kinda.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video, and hopefully all this came out. And
Absolutely, because we'll just keep talking. We'll just keep talking.
yeah,
Gotta stop. Gotta pull us apart sometime.
yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna wrap it up. This has been a special edition of the Justin Harvey Show with Justin Harvey and my buddy Michael Moss.
Rock
Peace.
on.